All right, so we're going to be talking about new developments in organizational structures. So some of the new terms that you see pop up, I think a big one is agile structures. So a lot of the advent of virtual team building has kind of created a lot of ability for agile structures that can be flexible. They can be shifted. They can be grown and shrank depending on what's needed. So it's easy to change these teams. They're very agile to reorder the structure when necessary, depending on what the project or goal is. So another one you see is team structure building, which is using temporary or permanent cross-functional teams when getting projects done. Kind of having multiple departments all work together functionally to get something done, and that's become easier and easier to do with online and hiring temporary employee teams to be a part of that. You also have network structures, which we have a more permanent central core of a permanent team core, and then you can add elements to that. So you have independent contractors and people that you bring on temporarily, and temp workers, and people that are added to that core in order to temporarily get a project done, and then you can let those people go until further notice when you need them again. So independent contractors. You also have strategic alliances where different teams or different companies can work together for a common goal that benefits them both. So maybe you work with an accounting team or a manufacturing firm to have a team work with your team in order to come up with a common product or a common goal. And so it benefits both organizations, both teams, both companies, but it's a strategic alliance. And so it's another thing you see. Moving forward, we're also going to be talking about tall structures versus flat structures when talking about organizational structure building. So looking at flat horizontal structures versus tall structures, there are strengths and weaknesses of both. So tall structures is when you have kind of you think of almost like a pyramid or a hierarchy of a structure where you have the top pyramid piece of the top manager, and then you have maybe a few managers below that, and then you have more managers below that, and then on the bottom level you have multiple departments in your company. So that's the tall structure. And then when you have a more of a wide horizontal structure, you might have just one or a few managers overseeing a larger group of people. And so there's strengths and weaknesses to both of those different structures. But so maybe looking at the tall structures, some of the benefits would be a tall organizational structure. You might have more career opportunities for growth. So you start on the bottom level and you work your way up. You're promoted to one department to a manager, and then after that you're promoted to the next level of management, and you're able to climb your way up that tall structure in a sense. Whereas a flat structure, you're going to have less of that. So with another benefit is with more managers controlling less people on a tall structure, you're going to have much more control over each group. So more managers overseeing more people. And so that can be a strength in the sense that it's easier on the managers because they can each organize and oversee smaller groups of people. Some of the weaknesses is it can really kind of fragment your company, where maybe the higher ups have less of a feel of what's going on the lower level because they're so far they're multiple levels removed from what's going on. Each department may not be so aligned or interconnected with the other departments, and so each department is its own entity. So there's less of a cohesiveness, less of a easy communication, and easy just the team network is not so interconnected with one another. So that can be a real weakness. So decision making can take a lot longer in companies like that because it's got to go through a whole system. Now looking at the flat structure, you see some of the strengths would be fast decisions being made because you have maybe one or a few managers up here overseeing more employees, and so there's less of a bureaucracy, or just where decisions can be made a lot quicker because there's less departments and managers to all kind of work together to communicate on those issues. So there's a lot more direct access as well. That's another strength, is those few managers have much more direct access to the employees. So they're more familiar with what's going on. They're more directly connected. So the employees have more of an easier time being able to talk to those managers directly. Some of the cons or the difficulties would be less career opportunities. You won't, you become a manager, and that's it. So the ceiling can be a lot quicker to reach. Managers also have more responsibility. They're overseeing much larger projects, so they have to keep watch over a lot more, and less people. There's less managers to report to, so it can be more stressful for that manager. As far as what our book says, is flat organizations are really trending right now. So there seems to be more strengths with these more flat type structures, and kind of trimming back on unnecessary managers, unnecessary employees. And so there definitely seems to be maybe more benefits to that structure at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. Thank you, and have a blessed day, and I'll see you again.